Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you guys are new. My name is Carly, and today I'm going to be talking about my mental health journey. I tried to sit down and do this video a couple weeks ago, and honestly, I just got really emotional. I don't know, I just got really emotional. I am going to hopefully try and talk about my mental health journey again. We'll see where this video goes. It's definitely going to be a messy video. It's going to be an emotional video. It's going to be a messy video. It's going to be all over the place. But I want to talk about my journey because if I can help at least one person, then that would be great. And I know a lot of people go through mental health. And yeah, so let's get started. My mental health journey starts in 5th grade. 5th grade is the year that kind of really stood out to me, and of course at the time I obviously didn't know that it was the things that I will be talking about that I know now of, but I'm just going to go through a lot of my emotions and what I was feeling and just kind of explain what happened. So 5th grade year, I had a pretty sturdy friend group when I was in 5th grade because we've kind of had like 1st through 5th grade to kind of get to know each other and all of that stuff. So my friend group was pretty solid, and in my class it was pretty much just like the girls would all be together and then the boys would all be together because my class was so small. I think we had maybe 15 people, so my class was pretty small. One day I went to this thing that was called Girls on the Run, and one of my friends ended up spreading a lie about me, and the next day came in and just told everyone that huge lie. Of course, when this was happening and when I was hearing what people were saying about me, I was like, that's not true, that's not true, that's not true, like, I don't understand, like, I didn't do that, like, I don't know, like, who's saying this, or, like, why is everyone, like, saying that I'm, like, a mean person for doing something, because I didn't do it. So I was just, like, very confused. This lasted for months. I was getting picked on and teased on, and I was, like, the horrible friend, and, like, no one wanted to be around me, so I kind of wasn't really associating with any of my friends anymore. Was just alone a lot of the time, and this is kind of where I liked being alone. I became so used to being alone because when I was at school, I obviously didn't really have any friends anymore, so I would just kind of do my own thing and not really care what others were doing, because frankly, I don't know, like, they were spreading lies about me and I didn't want to be a part of it, and they didn't really like me because of the lie. It was really hard to explain to people that, like, I wasn't the one that was doing that, and I don't really understand, like, why this is happening or why someone would spread a lie about me when I didn't do it. So I don't know, I was confused. A lot of the bullying came with that story that one of my friends said about me. So I was getting picked on, and at first I kind of was like, whatever, like, we're all going through a lot, it's just, I don't know, it's just like a joke. Like, I thought it was a joke. And then those comments kept on progressing and they were just getting worse. And I was getting really hurt by it because I wasn't, like, I didn't do that, so I was kind of just confused on the whole situation, and I frankly didn't even understand it myself. That pretty much sums up 5th grade. 6th grade, that kind of, like, blew over. My school combined with another school into the middle school, so I had more opportunities to have more friends. And so I became good friends with the people that were from the other school. We really got together and we, like, kind of clicked. But I was still having those friends from my 5th grade year talking bad about me, trying to get, like, the other people not be friends with me, kind of just the whole, like, they just wanted me to not have any friends, and it was just kind of annoying. But obviously those people knew me and they were like, she wouldn't do this, like, why are you guys saying that? So they didn't really fall for that. So yeah, that was pretty much sixth grade summed up. Seventh grade comes along. I still have the same friends. I'm still pretty happy with life. The bullying was still there, but it was kind of slowly starting to fade away as that was getting old and I wasn't feeding into it and nothing was really happening. Seventh grade was kind of like, could have been a little bit better, but it definitely could have been a lot worse. So I was pretty happy with seventh grade year. Eighth grade year is kind of what I remember being like the most dramatic year. In eighth grade, I remember it being one of the bigger or most dramatic years. I broke my leg twice within, I think, a year and a half, and with that, I was on bed rest a lot of the time, so I ended up gaining a lot of weight, and I got severely bullied for my weight gain, which was pretty hard for me to kind of accept, and still to this day, I am having a hard time accepting my weight. I was getting picked on because I was always the cripple and I was always like fat, and all of these things just kind of came up with that, and I ended up losing a lot of friends because of it. That was one of the years that I remember just having this like sadness inside of me, and at the time I obviously didn't know like what it was. Obviously now I know that it's depression, but at the time, I just remember feeling like really sad all the time and just feeling like really alone, and I felt like no one understood what I was going through because it is a huge change when you go from having a lot of these friends to not being able to really hang out because you were on crutches and you have a cast, and it's like no one really wants to hang out with someone when they can't do anything besides just sit there. So 8th grade year was definitely a really tough year for me. All of that continued when I was a freshman in high school. When you become a freshman in high school, a lot of things change, believe it or not. Even though I was still with the same people, I feel like everyone just kind of like, there was just like a switch with everyone. I felt like everyone was against everyone. It was a weird feeling being at school when everyone was so mean to each other and not understanding like why everyone was so mean to each other. And everyone was talking about everyone, and I was just, it was just, like, freshman year is the huge, like, drama year where, like, gossip is a huge thing, and apparently people don't really know how to be true friends. Like, I don't know. Like, it was a really, like, confusing year for me because everyone was so, like, back and forth, like, I'm their friend, I'm not their friend, and it was just, like, what is happening? Like, I don't understand. Like, why can't we just all get along? So I definitely got pulled into a lot of the drama when I wasn't even a part of it, which, definitely was pretty interesting because I'm the type of person that likes to hear about the drama, but I never wanted to be involved, and people would just, like, throw my names in there being like, oh, she said this, and I'm like, I didn't say that, so I don't know, like, where that's coming from, like, who is saying all of this stuff? One year was definitely, like, crazy for me. 10th grade year for me was pretty good. Not a lot of drama was happening, but there definitely was a lot of drama with, like, who's dating who and like all that like gossip stuff, and I was just like, whatever, like, this is stupid. Junior year of high school I think was definitely one of the worst years of high school. I didn't have any friends anymore, and this was really hard to accept, the fact that the friends that I did have turned their backs on me and I was alone. And I think one of the hardest things when you are in high school is not having any friends and seeing everyone else around you being so happy and being so, like, fulfilled with all their friends that they have. When I was in junior year of high school, I spent a lot of time alone. I ate, like in a room by myself, or I would like eat in the hallways. Like I wouldn't really associate myself with people. I definitely was more on the quiet side. I didn't really say much. I didn't really speak much. I was just really alone, and I was having a hard time finding a friend group that would care for me and not just say that, but actually show their actions that they do care. Yeah, it was a lot. I was very depressed. This is when a lot of my self-harming habits kind of played a huge role in, and I was just alone. I don't know, it felt like no one really cared. I felt like I was being used a lot of the time. I felt unwanted a lot of the time. I felt kind of just like that outcast that no one really wanted to be friends with. When I would look in the mirror myself, I would question a lot of things because I was confused on why no one wanted to be my friend. I felt like I didn't do anything to hurt anyone while being their friend. So I was just confused. I thought I had these people that cared a lot about me, and I thought that everything was fine, and then to start getting excluded from things and not being wanted by your friends is something that is painful. You see them hanging out on social media, but then you ask yourself, like, why didn't they ask me? Like, why couldn't I go? Why was I never a question? You really start to realize that so many people are two-faced. So many people are cruel and mean and will just use you just to use you and not have a lot of emotions and feeling when it comes to being someone's friend. I took a lot of junior year reflecting on myself, reflecting on what I could do better, why people don't want to hang out with me. And I came to the conclusion that it wasn't me and it was them. I wasn't doing anything wrong when I was their friend, and they just wanted people that were more like them and that were more like, let's talk bad about people, and I wasn't really like that. So my first semester of junior year was definitely really hard and really emotional. As time goes on, I ended up making friends that were 2 years younger than me, which I thought was like the greatest thing that had ever happened, because I finally found friends that related to me and they could understand me and I could tell them anything and they wouldn't care and they wouldn't judge me and they would help me, and they were just really encouraging and they were always positive, and every single time we would hang out we would always have fun. But with that, I was getting picked on because I wasn't able to find friends that were my age. And so it was just this continuous thing of I felt like everyone was watching every single move that I was doing, which was weird. Like, I would do one thing, not really thinking that it would be a big thing, and the next day it was like this huge like blowout thing. And that's kind of what happened with my friends that were 2 years younger than me. I started hanging out with them. I became friends with them. We became really good friends. And then everyone was like, oh my god, like, she can't be, like, hanging out with people that are 2 years younger than her. Like, that's so weird. That's so gross. Like, who would want friends that are 2 years younger than, like, them? Like, ha, ha, ha. Like, you know, like, just things like that. And it was devastating because I was literally living my best life, and I was so happy, and I was filled with people that actually cared about me, and they didn't really care much about the drama that was happening because they knew who I really was, and they knew my intentions, and my intentions were to never do anything bad. By the end of junior year, I could successfully say that I still had the two friends that I made mid-junior year, and everything was fine. Senior year comes, I was definitely anxious to get out of my high school. I definitely wasn't doing my best potential because I frankly didn't care. I obviously now regret not doing the best that I could have done because I could have done a lot, and I just chose to kind of be lazy and not do much. Senior year kind of took a long time. It felt like for me to graduate, but I had finally figured out like who my true friends are, who the people I want to hang around with, and life was going pretty well. Freshman year of college, I think, was one of the hardest things that I have gone through, like school-wise and like finding friends, because when you go to college, you are entering this new place and you know no one. And frankly, it's pretty scary. I definitely had a lot of anxiety going into my freshman year of college just because I didn't know anyone. I had no friends. I didn't know where I was going. I barely knew where I was living for a little while. Like, I was always getting confused. And you really need to take a couple months to just kind of soak everything in, realize that you're here, find a good friend group, and just kind of go along with that, which finding friends for me my freshman year wasn't that hard because I was friends with a lot of the people that were in my suite until I decided that I just needed to move out of the suite that I was in due to my roommate just not being respectful to me. Once I moved out of my first room in college, it was hard for me because I lost all of my friends that I made in college. I don't even know. It was like, I think the most alone I have ever felt. I moved into another room and I spent the rest of the semester just being alone. I definitely could say that I easily had no friends second semester of freshman year, besides the two friends that I had back that were still in high school. During my second semester of freshman year, I started talking to people that were in my major, and I would hang out with them here and there, but it definitely wasn't anything crazy, I would say. Freshman year of college ended pretty decently, but it wasn't the best. Sophomore year of college approaches, and I started reaching out to more of the people that I knew from my classes more, and I started hanging out with them a lot more. I felt comfortable, I felt confident, and I could easily say that I changed a lot. I wasn't in my room all the time. If anything, I hated being in my room. I hated, just being alone, and so I would always ask to hang out with my friends and ask to do this and ask to do that, and I think that it was one of the best years that I've had. Junior year comes around, and I am about to approach my second semester of junior year, so I can't really go into second semester, but first semester was definitely rough. One of my friends that I was really close with decided that she was going to switch colleges, which I definitely don't blame her for, but left me in a really just kind of emotional situation where I was like, I don't know, I just missed her a lot, but I know that it was the best for her to go somewhere else so she can accomplish whatever she wants to accomplish. But so far, everything has been really well, and I can definitely say that I've grown out of my depression stage, but that doesn't mean that I don't have depression. Like, there are nights where I'm just like really sad for no reason, or I'm like really lonely for some reason, or I'm like filled with anxiety and like things like that that are kind of happening. But I can definitely say that I've been doing a lot better. I've been taking care of myself, understanding my mental health, understanding my emotions a lot more, taking the time to relax when I need to relax, taking the time to really just know what my body needs, and when my body needs it, I need to go do that. I definitely can't wait to see how the rest of the semester goes. Hopefully it's good. I'm hoping. Everything has been going really well. I still keep in touch with my friends that were 2 years younger than me. I still keep in contact with the friend that moved to another college. So I feel like overall everything has been going really well. I'm very happy and I'm very excited about life. I'm not so like down and just kind of like hanging out by myself all the time. And yeah, this is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know that my life is kind of a mess at times, and it's really good at some times, and it's just filled with a lot of emotions and a lot of excitement, but it is life. And I just want to say that if you have a goal, you can achieve your goal, no matter how long it takes you to do it, no matter which route you take, you can achieve anything. And just know that nothing lasts forever, and you can always improve on yourself, improve on others. You know, you can always do things to better yourself. And 2019, I feel like, is the year that's just work on yourself. Like, love yourself, care about yourself, be obsessed with yourself. Like, you have every right to love your body and love who you are, and no one should have the question of why you're doing something. Like, just do it. Like, if you have a dream, do it. And I definitely have just been more positive about life. I have just been like, I don't care what anyone thinks, and if they question me, like, you know, like, who cares? And I've just honestly been living my best life, and I can't wait to see what the rest of the year holds. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know. I hope that if you come across this and you're going through a hard time, just know that things will get better, and sometimes it doesn't seem like that, but it will get better. You will get stronger. You will come out better in the end. If you need anyone, I'm always here to support you and guide you and help you and care for you when you can't care about yourself. And all the rest of the things. I don't know. I'm just rambling now. I hope you guys have a good day, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.